Hi, this is Luke with Arrowhead Rifles. Today we're going to go over the Arrowhead Gen2 breech plug upgrade for the CVA Paramount. We've had it out for about 3 years now. It's been hugely successful, but we thought it was time to shoot an updated video on the installation. It's now a drop-in fit. There's no modifications needed. You just install the bolt head and put the new plug in and you're good to go. It's compatible with the 50, the 45, and the 40 cal. The 40 cal does require a different breech plug than the 45 and the 50, but the bolt head is the same on all of them. There's no difference between the V2, the Pro, the HTR. They all use the same ignition system. So without further ado, let's dive into the installation. Alright, we'll run through this install. Never mess with this gun, so if I run into an issue, you'll get to see what goes down, but we should be able to get it done in just a couple of minutes. So first, obviously, always make sure a gun's unloaded before you start working on it. You should be able to see daylight. Yep, you can see daylight through the breech plug. That's a good way to check too at the range before you go to load a gun. You can pull the bolt on these bolt actions and see daylight right through the bore. Also, make sure you're using a witness mark on your ramrod. So for removal, it's a 7/16 socket. We have those available on the website. We'll have all the part numbers and the links to those in the video description. Alright, so shake that breech plug out of there. There we go. And then the kit comes with these parts. So you've got the lock nut, the bolt head, and the base plate, and then of course the breech plug, and then 20 of our primer modules. The primer modules take a large rifle or a large rifle Magnum primer. I haven't seen an appreciable difference in performance between the standard or the Magnum primers with Blackhorn 209. As far as how to prime and deprime those, check out our other videos for that. So we won't use these for the install. First we'll put our breech plug in, drop that in there. There's quite a bit of anti-seize on the factory plug we took out, so I'm not going to bother putting any more on the new plug, but it definitely doesn't hurt to put a little bit of anti-seize on a breech plug before you put it in. We like this Loctite silver anti-seize, also on our website. Just snug that plug up. Alright, then we'll move to the bolt head. Bolt head comes off with a 5/8 inch wrench. Just give it a twist. Comes off like that. So we won't use any of these parts. The spring, the spacer, all that comes off. Set that aside. The next step, I like to put just a dab of anti-seize on the base adapter. Make sure it screws in all the way. So we thread that base into the bolt head, the base into the bolt, not the bolt head, the bolt body, and snug it up. Give it a couple of turns. There we go. Alright, so this is actually the trickiest part of the installation. You see you got the, I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but the raceway guide here. So I'll just take this. You can use a Sharpie. I like to just use this X-Acto knife and just scratch a line here. Sharpies can rub off, but scratch that line there. That's right in line with this raceway. So once you've done that, pull the base adapter off. Set the bolt down. Alright, and I use green Loctite. Red or blue works. All this does is hold the bolt head in place and keeps it from rotating. So it doesn't really do anything mechanical other than just keep the bolt head aligned. So I apply a little bit in there, a little bit to the it doesn't really matter how much you put on. There's going to be excess that we're going to have to wipe off eventually. Put a little bit on the threads here. You can dry fit all this together too if you want to see how it goes together, and then take it apart and apply the Loctite. So the bolt head goes in there, and then the lock nut drops in the back. And I just use a Sharpie like that. And the way we're going to align it is, let me grab this. So this bottom portion of the bolt head is going to line up to that line we scribed in the last step. So I'm pushing the nut in with the Sharpie as I turn it, and find that mark right there. This is where you have to do a little trial and error, loosen, tighten until you get the head to tighten up right on your mark. Where is that mark? Guess I'm getting old and maybe need to put some glasses on. I see it there. The pressure of the video is making this take a little longer than it normally does for me. Alright, there we go. So I just finger tight, crank it down, and double check I'm right on the line. So this end is right on that line. Now we got a bunch of Loctite all over the place. Take some Q-tips and clean it up. A lot of times I'll hit it with, just give it a shot of isopropyl alcohol and wipe it down. Make sure we don't get any Loctite on these threads, or you're not gonna, you're gonna have a hard time getting it out of the bolt body. So that's all there is to do with the bolt head installation. Then we just screw this back in. Grab the wrench. See the bolt head slots approximately in line with this groove. It doesn't have, you can see we rotated just slightly past it. There's some margin for error there, but you can always make sure once you slide the bolt in, you have a couple of minutes before that Loctite starts to set up. But you can see we can just drop the primer module right in there, and we're ready to rock and roll. You see how easy that is. Normally I would recommend letting the bolt head set for a little bit till the Loctite's fully cured, because you can end up making the bolt head rotate a little bit using it before the Loctite's set up. But that's all there is to it. Alright, well, thanks for watching the installation here. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a line. Also check out for our other videos. We've got some information out there on our breech plug upgrades, as well as some of our bullets we offer for the CVA Paramount, how to prime and deprime the modules. We've got a lot of content out there that should be useful to you. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a line. Thank you.